Hi, welcome in. My name's Kristen, if you don't already know. This is my first video. It's so exciting. I am a huge makeup fan and I'm a Jesus fan. And I thought, why not try to build a community here where we come together, we read a devotional together, do some makeup, and just hang out and hopefully learn something in the process. So if you are ready, let's get into it. So the devotional I'd like to do is by Lisa Harper. I love Lisa Harper. She's amazing. If you have not listened to any of her sermons, or she has a podcast called Back Porch Theology, which is great. If you haven't heard any of that or read any of her books, you should definitely check her out. I'm actually going to use the Bible app today so that maybe you could follow along with me, which would be really great. And this is called, Is the Gospel Truly Good News for Everyday Life? It's a great devotional. I haven't actually done it yet, but it looks awesome. So, I'm not going to put any primer on. I've already put on my sunscreen, moisturizer. Here's the sunscreen I used. This stuff's great. You should definitely check it out if you are in the market for a sunscreen. And so we'll start with the foundation. I might not say every product that I'm using, but if you're curious, just comment below. So let's go ahead and read day 1. It says, will the real happy please stand up? What comes to mind when you think of the word happy? I think that's a great question. I think that our society is very hyper-focused on being happy right now, you know? I don't know. By the way, I'm not like a theologian or anything, so all of this is a lot of my opinions and just my experiences. So for me, you know, happiness, I would like it to come from within, you know what I mean? And not based on circumstances. But let's see what Lisa says. I'm just reading down here if you're wondering. She says, a toddler in overalls splashing through puddles while gleefully chasing a frog. A couple of kindergartners sitting elbow to elbow at a picnic table, both wearing gap-toothed grins and holding slices of watermelon bigger than their heads. Or a bright-eyed cheerleader who's catapulted high in the air with her arms over her head in victory when the home team scores the winning touchdown. She's really painting a picture here. Happy. It sounds like fireworks, smells like roasted marshmallows, and feels like cannonballing into a cold pool on a hot day, right? What it does not seem to be, to some of us, is allowable for Christians. That's a really great point. You know, just with my experiences, I just feel like sometimes Christians, and not all Christians, just get hyper-focused on, oh, you can't have a happy experience, you can't have a good experience, that's worldly, or whatever they mean by that. So I think that's kind of what she's alluding to as well. I mean, she travels all over America and, you know, meets tons of different people, so I think she's got good insight into this. Surely happy is too based on our circumstances, too emotive, too unspiritual to be an appropriate and consistent state for Christ followers, right? She says wrong. Wildly, sadly distorted by religious Pharisees for far too long, wrong. There are actually 37 references to happy in the Old Testament and 48 in the New Testament. I did not know that. So, did you know that there are over 2,700 passages where terms related to happy, gladness, merriment, pleasure, celebration, cheer, laughter, delight, jubilation, and feasting are used? In fact, the Psalms in the book smack dab in the middle of the Bible and comprised of 150 Old Testament songs literally begins with the word happy. I think that's a really great point. How's the foundation looking? I think it's blended well. I use the CoverGirl True Blend. I really enjoy it. I think it's a little too cool tone for me, but think I get away with it. So we'll do the concealer next. I'm kind of looking in the mirror behind the phone too. Okay. I'm gonna use my sponge today. So, let's talk about how Jesus himself used the concept of happy. We don't have to look any further than the Beatitudes, arguably Jesus' most beloved message, which could accurately be titled How to Be Happy, since the whole thing technically begins with the word happy as well. Once again, theological experts who've immersed themselves in the Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic of biblical lexicon assert that happy is a perfectly sound substitutional term for blessed or fortunate here, which there's people a lot smarter than me who have done all the research and studied and dedicate their lives to these things, which is just amazing. That means happy is a wonderfully legitimate outward sign of Christians who are walking with God and enjoying all the inward grace he gives us. In other words, happiness is the joyful fruit of someone who is deeply rooted in their relationship with God. It's the outer disposition of a God lover's inward reality, a covenant state of being for his people. I think that's just a really comforting thought, for sure. Comment below what you think about the word happy, about how it relates to today's society, just any of your thoughts. Okay, so she goes on to say, God has taught me so much in every moment of life, from the lowest valley to the highest pinnacle, and at this middle-aged point, when I look back and realize that I've lived more life than I have life left to enjoy, I can promise you that I've never experienced God's absence, not once. Whether it was laughing so hard there were tears running down my face, or grieving so deeply that I ran out of tears, I could trace his sovereign, steadfast compassion through every single season. I firmly believe you'll find our Creator Redeemer to be perfectly faithful and compassionate in the highs and lows of your life too. You know, amen to that. Let's speak that over our lives. For sure. I'm just getting a mirror because sometimes it doesn't want to sit right here. Okay. So let's dive into this devotion and run hard toward Jesus together, knowing we'll inevitably share some pratfalls. She probably meant pitfalls, and belly laughs along the way. If you haven't listened to her, you should. She's really, really funny. I just love her personality. Now I'm going to use the loose powder to just set my foundation and concealer better. And then there's questions here. So, have you ever thought about happiness as being a sacred thing in both the hard and the good times? I think this is a great question. I guess I've never thought of it as a sacred thing, but as I've gotten older and had kids, it definitely is. Like, it's something that we need to really value and just take seriously, you know, in the sense of like not taking it for granted, I would say. And it is sacred because it's biblical. It's God's designed us to be this way, right? So it needs to be, I think, taken seriously. Why or why not? Just because when you're younger, at least for me, I just never really thought of it like that. I think, like she said, as you get older and you look back, you can, you start to get wisdom in that area. Comment below some of your thoughts on that question and answer it. And then the verses are Psalms 1, verse 1. Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. I love that verse. I'm reading the NIV, by the way. I think we're just going to do blush today. I'm not feeling bronzer today, although it's wintry and I probably could use some. But I wanted to share my favorite blush right now, which is the Essence The Blush in the shade Befitting. Love it. Let me get my brush. This is my favorite brush. It's Eco Tools. I don't know why. It just really picks up the blush very, very well. And then, so that was Psalms 1, verse 1. And, you know, I love that verse because I love how it speaks about a tree. If you'll notice in the Bible, they use a lot of, you know, gardening and plant references. But I just love the idea of planting yourself near a stream of water, because without water, unless you're, I guess, a cactus, plants thrive. They need water. It's so important. And God is living water. He is our way of life. And so just planting ourselves near that stream, near Jesus, is just so important. And then I think I'm just going to use a little bronzer in the crease today. It just keeps things simple. I'm a mom on the go. I don't have, you know, a ton of time to get crazy with my makeup. But yeah, Psalms is great. It's a great place to start if you've never read through the Bible, which I haven't, but Psalms is, there's a lot of beautiful imagery. Am I even? I don't know. I have a mirror behind me, but it's a little far away. You just blend, and it kind of looks like you put a little bit more effort than you really did. I also like to put a little bit under my crease. I don't know what this does, but it's just what the makeup people on YouTube tell me to do. And that's who I follow. And then I'm going to spray a little bit of setting spray, the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Mist. It just gets rid of some of the powderiness. Okay, so then the next verse is Matthew 5, verse 1. And this is how it goes. Now, when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them. He said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me." I love this passage. There's actually a song by Elevation, I think on their Lion album, that pretty much just sings this, and it's fantastic. And Jesus makes a great point there, like especially the end when he talks about people will insult you. And I think in today's world it's very, very easy to find someone who will insult you because of social media and the internet. I'm gonna curl my lashes for this. So, you know, I think that's just reassuring that, you know, God is saying they're gonna hate you, they're gonna insult you, and then because of me. But, you know, we're not alone in that, and it's just so comforting to me. And I love that passage as well. I'm gonna use the Believe Beauty. It's just a brown mascara, which is just great for like a natural look. But what are your thoughts? You need to check out that song if you have time. It's fantastic. I love songs that just pretty much repeat the Bible, you know. and I'm a big into singing, and especially in the car with my kids, so it's just a great way to memorize verses and just to speak life into your day. Okay, and I think that was it for today. Hopefully you followed along. I'm just gonna do my eyebrows. So what are y'all's thoughts? I want to hear below. Do you like Lisa Harper so far? I mean, what are your thoughts on happiness? I think she made some just fantastic points. And it's okay to have joy as a Christian. It's okay to experience life. God gave us this life. It's a gift, right? I'm just going to use a little bit of something simple. I'm very simple with my makeup. This is the finished look. Just easy, simple. I really enjoyed doing this devotional with you today, and I hope that you'll join me next time for when we can continue Lisa Harper's devotional that she has on the Bible app. Download the Bible app if you don't have it already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.